A buried suitcase in the Mojave reveals a chilling betrayal. Can a brother uncover the truth? Like and subscribe to catch the thrilling mystery in our latest video. The Mojave sun blazed like a furnace, searing Elon's skin as he hauled himself up a jagged ridge, his climbing gear clinking against the rock. At 36, he was no stranger to the desert's brutality, but today's trek felt heavier, driven by a 20-year-old wound, the disappearance of his sister, Beyoncé, one of 6 cheerleaders who vanished after a 1,995 regional competition. The police called it a runaway case, but Elon never believed it, not when Beyoncé's laughter still echoed in his dreams. A hiker's tip about a hidden crevice in the Mojave had brought him here, a last-ditch hope to find answers. His boots crunched on loose gravel as he reached a flat outcrop, and there, beneath a massive, weathered slab of stone, he saw a patch of disturbed earth, unnatural, deliberate. Heart-pounding, he dropped to his knees, clawing at the sand until his fingers hit something solido rusted leather suitcase, its zipper caked with grit. He pried it open, and his breath stopped. 6 cheerleader uniforms, once vibrant, now torn and faded, spilled out, each embroidered with a name. Beyoncé, Rihanna, Ariana, Taylor, Adele, Shakira. A crumpled note lay among them, its ink trembling. "We trusted the wrong driver." Elon's hands shook, the words a scream from the past. Bloodstains marred Beyoncé's uniform, and strands of her hair clung to it, twisting his gut. This wasn't a runaway, this was a grave. A shadow flickered on the ridge above, and instinct kicked in. Elon dove behind the slab as a gunshot cracked, the shot kicking up sand where he'd knelt. His pulse raced, gripping his climbing knife, its blade glinting. He'd told no one about this climb, yet someone knew. 3 figures descended the ridge, rifles slung, their faces hidden by bandanas against the dust. "Find the case," one barked, his voice sharp. Elon's mind raced the note, the uniforms, the blood. Whoever these men were, they'd kill to keep this buried. He tucked the suitcase under his pack, securing it, and scrambled toward a narrow crevice in the rock, his gear scraping. A second bullet grazed the stone, chips stinging his cheek. He squeezed into the crevice, the walls tight, his breath shallow. The men's boots crunched closer, their radios buzzing. "He's got it. Cut him off at the canyon," Elon cursed under his breath. His jeep was a mile away, hidden in a wash, but the terrain was a maze. The suitcase was evidence-proof Beyoncé hadn't run, that something monstrous had taken her. He wasn't losing it. The crevice widened to a ledge overlooking a canyon, the desert vast and merciless below. He checked the suitcase, his fingers brushing Beyoncé's name, a memory flashing. Her at 15, twirling in her uniform, promising to call after the game. Tears stung his eyes, but rage steadied him. The note's words, "We trusted the wrong driver," pointed to a betrayal, and he'd tear the Mojave apart to uncover it. A rope snapped nearby, one of the men rappelling down. Elon pressed flat, knife ready. The man landed, rifle raised, but Elon struck, tackling him, the knife slicing his arm. The man roared, swinging the rifle's butt, catching Elon's jaw. Pain exploded, but Elon drove his knee into the man's gut, sending him over the ledge, his scream fading. "He's up there," another shouted, firing from below. Bullets chipped the rock, and Elon ran, the suitcase banging against his back. The canyon was a death trap, but a trail led to a dry riverbed, a path to his jeep. He slid down a slope, sand cascading, and sprinted, the men's shouts echoing. Headlights flared in the distance, more of them, an SUV cutting through the dusk. Elon's lungs burned, but he pushed on, the suitcase his only link to Beyoncé. The riverbed was treacherous, rocks rolling underfoot, and the SUV gained, its engine growling. A voice boomed through a megaphone. "Stop, or we bury you with her." Elon's blood boiled. They knew about Beyoncé, about the girls. He dove behind a boulder, knife in one hand, a flare from his pack in the other. The SUV stopped, 4 men piling out, their rifles sweeping. Elon lit the flare, its red glow blinding, and hurled it, the men scattering. He ran, the riverbed curving toward his jeep, but a shot grazed his leg and he stumbled, pain searing. Gritting his teeth, he reached the jeep, tossing the suitcase inside and starting the engine. Tires screeched as he floored it, the SUV in pursuit, bullets pinging the tailgate. The desert blurred, but a figure stepped onto the trail ahead, a woman, her silhouette tall and commanding. "Elon," she shouted, raising a shotgun. He swerved, recognizing her Serena after Serena Williams, a journalist who'd hounded the case in '95 until the town shut her down. "Get in," she yelled, firing at the SUV, shattering its windshield. Elon slammed the brakes, and Serena dove into the passenger seat, her shotgun blasting as they sped off. "How'd you find me?" Elon gasped, weaving through the dunes. Serena reloaded, her eyes fierce. "I've been tracking that case since Beyoncé vanished. Saw your post about the Mojave hike. Good thing I did." The SUV gained, but Serena leaned out, her shotgun roaring, blowing a tire. The SUV fishtailed, crashing into a dune, but more headlights flickered in the distance. "They won't stop," Serena said, checking the suitcase. "This changes everything." Elon's jaw tightened, the note's words searing. "We trusted the wrong driver." "Who was he?" he demanded. Serena's face darkened. "I don't know yet, but the town does, and they've been lying for 20 years. The highway loomed, a ribbon of hope under the stars. Elon floored it, the Jeep shaking, the suitcase a promise to Beyoncé. Serena gripped her shotgun, ready for the next fight. The desert was a battlefield, and the truth was out there, waiting to be unearthed. The Jeep's engine roared as it tore down the Mojave highway, the desert night a blur of sand and stars. Elon's hands gripped the wheel, his jaw throbbing from the rifle butt, his leg wound seeping through a makeshift bandage. Beside him, Serena reloaded her shotgun, the suitcase with Beyoncé's blood-stained uniform and the chilling note, "We trusted the wrong driver," wedged between them. The pursuing SUV had crashed, but Elon knew the hunters wouldn't stop. Serena's presence, a journalist who'd been silenced by the town in '95, was no coincidence. She'd been chasing the same truth he was, and now they were in it together. The note's words burned in his mind, a betrayal that had stolen his sister and 5 others. "Where are we going?" Elon asked, his voice hoarse. Serena's eyes flicked to the rearview mirror, checking for headlights. "A safe house outside Barstow. My contact, Maya, can analyze the suitcase. She's a forensic expert, used to work with the FBI, named after Maya Angelou for a reason." Elon nodded, his thoughts drifting to 1995, when the world had cracked open. He was 16, a lanky kid with dreams of engineering, living with Beyoncé and their mother in a small Mojave town. Beyoncé, 15, was the star of the cheer squad, her energy lighting up the bleachers. The regional competition was her moment, a chance to shine with her friends Rihanna, Ariana, Taylor, Adele, Shakira. Elon had teased her about her glittery uniform, but she'd hugged him before boarding the team's bus, promising to bring back a trophy. When the bus didn't return, the town buzzed with panic. Sheriff found it abandoned on a desert road. No sign of the girls, no struggle, no clues. The driver, a man named Carl, claimed they'd ditched him at a gas station, but his story was shaky, his eyes avoiding questions. The town mourned, then moved on, labeling the girls runaways. Elon, consumed by grief, scoured Beyoncé's room, finding a diary entry. "Carl's weird, keeps watching us. He'd shown it to the sheriff, but it was dismissed teenage nonsense," they said. The memory fueled his rage now, the driver's shadow looming over the suitcase's truth. Serena's voice snapped him back. "Turn here," she said, pointing to a dirt road. The Jeep bounced, kicking up dust, as they approached a weathered cabin, its lights dim. Maya greeted them, a woman with steady hands and a forensic kit ready. "This better be good," she said, eyeing the suitcase. Inside the cabin, Maya spread the uniforms on a table, her gloved hands careful. "Blood's old, but I can extract DNA," she said, clipping a sample from Beyoncé's. The note, fragile and trembling, lay under a magnifying glass. Serena read it again, her voice low. "We trust the wrong driver." Elon's fists clenched. "Carl, the bus driver, he's the key." Maya frowned, scanning her laptop. "Carl disappeared after '95, no trace. But I found payments large to an account in his name, routed through a shell company called Horizon Ventures. Someone paid him off." Serena's eyes darkened. "Horizon's a front. They've been in town forever, funding projects, buying silence. I tried exposing them in '95, got death threats instead." Elon's mind raced, the diary's warning echoing. Who runs Horizon? Maya tapped her screen, pulling up a name. Gates Bill Gates, the town's mayor in '95. Now a retired philanthropist whose influence lingered like poison. He was at every search party, Elon said, his voice bitter. Told me Beyoncé'd come back. Serena nodded. He's untouchable was. The suitcase changes that. Maya's equipment beeped, confirming DNA matches for all 6 girls, plus an unknown male's hair. Not Carl's, she said. Someone else was with them. Before Elon could process it, the cabin's lights flickered, and a low hum filled the air. Serena grabbed her shotgun. Drones. Maya dove for her laptop, but the window shattered, glass spraying as a flashbang exploded, blinding them. Men in tactical gear stormed in, rifles raised. "The suitcase," one shouted. Elon grabbed the note, shoving it into his pocket, and tackled a man, his knife slashing. Serena fired, her shotgun's blast deafening, dropping another, but a dart hit Maya's arm, and she collapsed, her laptop sparking. "Run!" Serena yelled, tossing a chair to block the door. Elon snatched the suitcase, sprinting for the back exit, Serena covering him. Bullets tore through the walls, and a drone's taser grazed Elon's shoulder, pain searing. They burst into the night, the Jeep's engine roaring as Serena floored it, the cabin erupting in flames behind them. The drones pursued, their lights slicing the dark, and an SUV joined, its headlights blinding. Elon clutched the suitcase, Beyoncé's uniform inside a silent scream. "They knew we were here," he said, his voice tight. Serena swerved, dodging a hail of bullets. Horizon's got eyes everywhere. Gates probably owns the sheriff. The SUV rammed them, the Jeep fishtailing, and Elon braced, his leg wound bleeding anew. Serena veered into a dry wash, the Jeep scraping rock, the SUV too wide to follow. "We need to lose them," she said, killing the headlights. The drones buzzed overhead, but the wash's shadows hid them. They stopped, hearts pounding, the desert silent. Elon opened the suitcase, rereading the note. "We trusted the wrong driver. Carl wasn't alone," he said. "Someone helped him, someone like Gates." Serena checked her shotgun, her face grim. "Then we find proof. Horizon's got a facility in the desert rumors from '95. If the girls were taken there, we'll know." Elon's resolve hardened, Beyoncé's diary entry flashing. Carl's weird. The town had lied, Gates had lied, and the suitcase was the spark to burn their secrets down. Serena's burner phone buzzed a text from Maya sent before the attack. Horizon's files mention Project Siren. Check the old quarry. The Jeep's engine hummed, ready for the next fight. Elon looked at the note. Beyoncé's blood a call to justice. The desert was a maze, but he'd navigate it. For her, for all of them. The dry wash's shadows cloaked the Jeep, its engine ticking as it cooled in the Mojave's pre-dawn chill. Elon crouched beside the vehicle, the suitcase open on the sand, its Content-6 blood-stained cheerleader uniforms, and the trembling note lit by Serena's flashlight. The words "we trusted the wrong driver" were a haunting accusation, Beyoncé's name on her uniform, a knife in Elon's heart. Serena, her shotgun propped against the Jeep, scanned the horizon for Horizon Ventures drones, her face etched with the strain of their narrow escape from Maya's safe house. The forensic expert's last text Horizon's files mention Project Siren. Check the old quarry was their only lead, but the attack had cost them Maya's expertise and nearly their lives. Elon's leg wound throbbed, his shoulder stinging from the drone's taser, but he pushed the pain aside, focusing on the note. "This handwriting," he said, his voice low. "It's Beyoncé's. I'd know it anywhere." Serena knelt, examining the paper's creases. She wrote it in a hurry, under stress. The blood on it, it's hers, and someone else's. Elon's jaw tightened. The unknown male hair Maya found a new thread in the mystery. "Not Carl's," he muttered. "Someone else was there when they were taken." Serena pulled a plastic bag from her pack, sealing the note. "We need to test it, but Horizon's watching. They knew we were at Maya's means they've got the town wired." Elon's mind raced, the name Gates Bill Gates, the former mayor looming like a spectre. Horizon Ventures, his company, had paid off Carl, the bus driver, but the male hair suggested a bigger network. Serena's laptop, salvaged from the safe house, flickered on, its screen cracked but functional. "Maya sent a partial file before the attack," she said, opening an encrypted folder. It contained Horizon's financial millions funneled through shell companies linked to a quarry outside town. A memo mentioned Project Siren, Phase 1 subject acquisition. Elon's blood ran cold. They targeted the girls, he said. Beyoncé, Rihanna, all of them acquired. Serena's eyes narrowed. And the town let it happen. Gates was mayor then, controlled everything, sheriff, press, even the school board. Elon remembered 1,995 Gates' polished speeches at the search parties, his hand on Elon's shoulder, promising answers that never came. The suitcase was proof of his lies. A distant hum broke the silence drones, their lights slicing the dawn. Serena doused the flashlight, pulling Elon behind the jeep. "They're tracking us," she whispered, checking her shotgun. Elon grabbed his climbing knife, the suitcase secured in his pack. "The quarry's our shot. If Project Siren's there, we'll find it." Serena nodded, starting the jeep, its engine a low growl. They sped through the wash, the drones gaining, their tasers crackling. An SUV appeared on a ridge, its headlights blinding, and bullets pinged the jeep's hood. "Hold on," Serena shouted, veering into a canyon, the walls closing in. The SUV followed, its tires screeching, but the drones were relentless, one grazing Elon's arm with a taser, pain jolting through him. He leaned out, hurling a rock, smashing the drone's camera, and it spiraled into the sand. Serena floored it, the canyon narrowing, the SUV forced to slow. They burst onto a flat expanse, the quarry's rusted gates looming, guarded by men in tactical gear. "Horizon's private army," Serena muttered, cutting the engine behind a dune. Elon's eyes locked on the quarry, its pits dark with secrets. "Beyoncé was here," he said, the note's weight in his pocket. Serena handed him a flare. "We go in hard, no mercy." They crept forward, the guards' radios buzzing. Serena tossed a smoke grenade, the quarry filling with haze, and they moved, silent and lethal. Elon took down a guard with his knife, stealing a keycard, while Serena's shotgun blasted, dropping another. The gate's lock beeped, opening to a tunnel, its air thick with chemicals. Inside, the quarry was a fortress crates of equipment, monitors displaying maps, and a chilling sight. A list of names, the 6 girls among them, marked terminated. Elon's heart stopped, but a date caught his eye: 2010, 15 years after their disappearance. "They were alive," he whispered, hope and horror colliding. Serena pointed to a sealed door, its keypad glowing. "That's where Siren is." The keycard failed, and alarms blared, red lights flashing, guards stormed in, and gunfire erupted. Elon swung his flare, igniting a crate, flames roaring as Serena fired, her shots precise. A guard tackled Elon, his rifle butt cracking against his ribs, but Elon stabbed, the knife sinking deep. Serena pulled him up, blood on her face. "The door," she yelled. They pried it open, revealing a lab vials of glowing liquid, computers humming, and a whiteboard with Siren, neural suppression. A photo pinned to it showed the girls, bound, their eyes defiant. Beyoncé's face was circled, a note scrawled, "Primary candidate." Elon's tears fell, but a voice cut through. "You're late, Musk." A man stepped from the shadows, his suit pristine Gates, his smile cold. "Your sister was exceptional." Elon lunged, his knife flashing, but Gates was fast, drawing a pistol. Serena fired, grazing his arm, and Gates retreated, triggering a lockdown. Steel shutters slammed down, trapping them. "You'll die with her secrets," Gates hissed over an intercom. The lab shook, explosives detonating. Serena hacked a terminal, overriding the shutters, but guards poured in. Elon fought, his knife a blur, while Serena's shotgun roared. They broke through, dragging a crate of Siren vials as evidence, the lab collapsing behind them. Outside, the quarry burned, drones circling. Serena hot-wired a guard's truck, and they sped into the desert, Gates's laughter echoing. Elon clutched the suitcase, the note a promise to Beyoncé. "They kept them alive for years," he said, his voice raw. Serena's eyes were grim. "Then we find out why, and where." The vials and photo were proof, but Gates was still out there, Horizon's grip tightening. Elon's resolve burned he'd expose them. For Beyoncé, for justice, no matter the cost. The Mojave's dawn was a blaze of gold and menace, the stolen Horizon truck screaming through the dunes as Elias floored it, sand exploding beneath the tires. Sarah sat shotgun, her weapon braced against the dash, the suitcase, and a crate of glowing siren vials wedged in the back. The quarry's inferno was a fading glow behind them, its collapse a fleeting victory against Horizon Ventures. But Gates's words, "You'll die with her secrets," rang like a curse. Elias's leg wound bled through his makeshift bandage, his ribs aching from the guard's blow, but the photo of Beyoncé, pinned in the lab, her eyes defiant, kept him sharp. Sarah's eyes scanned the rear view, spotting the inevitable 3 SUVs, Horizon's mercenaries, tearing through the desert, their rifles glinting. "They're not letting us go," she growled, reloading her shotgun. Elias gripped the wheel, the suitcase's note a weight in his soul. "We trusted the wrong driver." The siren vials, proof of Horizon's neural experiments, were their leverage, but only if they survived. "Where's the next facility?" he demanded. Sarah pulled up Maya's tablet, its screen flickering with Horizon's encrypted files. An old airfield, 40 miles north. Siren's core lab where they took the girls after the quarry. A bullet pinged the truck's tailgate, and Elias swerved, the SUVs gaining. Sarah leaned out, her shotgun roaring, but the lead SUV dodged, its armored frame relentless. Elias spotted a dry lake bed, its cracked surface a gamble, and veered toward it, the truck bouncing wildly. "Hold on," he shouted, as a drone buzzed overhead, its taser crackling. Elias hurled a flare, the red blaze smashing the drone, but another took its place, grazing Sarah's arm with a shock. She cursed, firing, and the drone spiraled into the sand. The lake bed ended at a rusted fence, the airfield's perimeter, its hangars looming like tombs. Elias rammed the gate, metal screeching, and skidded behind a derelict plane, the SUVs roaring in. "We're sitting ducks," Sarah hissed, grabbing the crate. Elias secured the suitcase, his knife ready. "Then we take the fight to them." They crept through the airfield, the hangars dark with menace. A faded sign read Horizon Test Site, and Elias's gut-twisted Beyoncé had been here, her name carved in the quarry's tunnels, a cry from this place. They reached a bunker, its steel door ajar, and slipped inside, the air thick with dust and chemicals. Sarah's flashlight caught a map on the wall, marked with siren extraction points, one circled, Hangar 3. "That's where they processed them," she whispered. Elias's heart pounded, the note's betrayal wrong driver pointing here. They moved deeper, finding a lab computer's fried, vials smashed, but a locker held a jacket, its patch embroidered. Rihanna F. Elias's breath caught, clutching it, Beyoncé's friend a ghost in his hands. Footsteps echoed, and Sarah doused the light, pulling Elias behind a crate. 4 mercenaries entered, their radios buzzing. "Find the vials. Burn the rest." Elias tensed, his knife glinting, and struck, slashing a man's arm, dropping him. Sarah's shotgun blasted, scattering the others, but a grenade rolled in, and Elias dove, shielding Sarah as it exploded, shrapnel cutting his back. The lab filled with smoke, and they ran, the crate and suitcase in tow, the mercenaries' shouts chasing them. Hangar 3 was a cavern of shadows, its floor stained, chains dangling from beams. Elias froze, spotting scratches on a wall. Beyoncé, 1997. She was alive, he choked, 2 years after she vanished. Sarah's hand steadied him. "We're close." A trap door gleamed under a tarp, its lock biometric. Elias pried it with his crowbar, the metal groaning, revealing a tunnel, its walls lined with cables. The air was cold, the hum of machinery faint. They descended, the mercenaries' boots above, and found a chamber sterile, lit by flickering bulbs, monitors showing neural scans. A whiteboard bore a chilling note. "Siren subjects, terminated 2010. But a file, left on a desk, listed survivor. Subject R. Elias's pulse raced. Rihanna, maybe alive. A voice cut through, cold and familiar. "You're persistent, Musk." Gates emerged, flanked by guards, his pistol aimed. Like Beyoncé, she fought too. Elias lunged, his crowbar swinging, but a guard tackled him, the suitcase skidding. Sarah fired, dropping one man, but Gates shot, the bullet grazing her shoulder, and she fell, blood pooling. "The vials," Gates demanded, kicking the crate. Elias struggled, pinned, but saw a keypad by the trapdoor, its screen flashing. He elbowed the guard, diving for it, and smashed the panel, triggering a lockdown. Steel shutters slammed down, trapping Gates and his men. "You're finished," Elias roared, grabbing Sarah, her arms slick with blood. She clutched the crate, gasping. "Get, Rihanna." The chamber shook, Horizon's failsafe kicking in, pipes bursting. Elias dragged Sarah through a side tunnel, the suitcase and vials secure, the guards' shouts fading. They emerged into the airfield, the hangars burning, drones circling. Elias hotwired a mercenaries truck, helping Sarah inside, her face pale. "We're not done," she rasped. Elias nodded, the jacket in his pack. Beyoncé's scratches a map to the truth. The file's mention of a survivor Rihanna lit, a spark. Gates was trapped, but Horizon's reach was vast, and the town's silence was its shield. They sped into the desert, the airfield's flames a beacon of defiance. Elias clutched the note, Beyoncé's blood, a call to fight. "We'll find her," he vowed, "for his sister, for the girls, for justice." Sarah's eyes met his, fierce despite her pain. To the end. The desert was a battlefield, but the truth was breaking free, and Elias would burn Horizon down to save Rihanna and honor Beyoncé's fight. The stolen Horizon truck roared through the Mojave's dawn, its tires chewing sand as Elon pushed the engine to its limit, the desert a blur of gold and shadow. Serena slumped in the passenger seat, her shoulder bleeding through a torn shirt, her shotgun resting on her lap, the crate of siren vials and the suitcase with Beyoncé's note secure in the back. The airfield's flames were a fading scar behind them. Gates trapped in the collapsing lab, but Horizon's drones buzzed in the distance, their pursuit unrelenting. Elon's ribs ached, his leg wound seeping, but the jacket with Rihanna's name and Beyoncé's scratches 1997 burned in his mind. The file's mention of a survivor, Subject R, was a fragile hope, and the note's words, "We trusted the wrong Drivera call to uncover the truth." Serena's voice, weak but fierce, broke the silence. "Head for the old mine," she rasped, clutching Maya's tablet. Horizon's files mention a secondary site where they held the girls long-term. Elon nodded, his grip tightening on the wheel, the suitcase a tether to Beyoncé's fight. Tucked inside, among the uniforms, he'd found a folded page, torn from a notebook, its edges brittle. Beyoncé's handwriting, faint but unmistakable, stared back. Day 312. "They're breaking us. I hid this for you, Elon." His heart clenched, and he handed it to Serena, keeping his eyes on the road. "Read it," he said, his voice raw. Serena's flashlight trembled as she unfolded the page. Beyoncé's words a whisper from the grave. "They took us from the bus. Carl, he lied, said it was a shortcut. A man was waiting, masked with others. They drugged us, woke up in cages. Rihanna's fighting, but Ariana's quiet now. They're testing US siren, they call it. Machines in our heads, voices that aren't ours. I stole this paper, hid it in the vent. If you find it, Elon, tell Mom I'm sorry. I'm sending the uniforms a name so someone knows." Serena's voice broke, and Elon's tears fell, the desert blurring. Beyoncé had fought, not just for herself, but for her friends, smuggling the suitcase as a beacon. The note continued. "They move us tomorrow. A mine," they said. "I'll hide the case before we go. The driver, he's one of them. Don't trust the town." Elon's rage surged. Carl's betrayal a wound reopened, the town's silence a deeper cut. The mine loomed, its entrance a black moor in the rock, guarded by a single watchtower. Serena checked her shotgun, her face pale. "We're walking into hell," she said. Elon grabbed his knife, the suitcase in his pack. For Beyoncé, for Rihanna. They parked behind a ridge, creeping toward the mine. The drone's hum faint but closing. The watchtower's guard was distracted, and Elon climbed, silent, his knife slicing the man's radio before knocking him out. Serena signaled, and they slipped inside, the tunnel's air cold, reeking of rust and despair. Graffiti scarred the wall's names, dates, Rihanna, 2005. Elon's breath caught. She'd survived a decade here. A locked door blocked their path, its keypad glowing. Serena used a stolen keycard, the door hissing open to a chamber of Horus gauges, rusted but intact, monitors showing neural scans, and a single item on a table, a cheerleader's pom-pom, Beyoncé's. Its glitter dulled. Elon clutched it, his sister's defiance alive in its fibers. Serena found a logbook, its pages detailing Siren's tests. Subject B, resistant, terminated 2010. Elon's knee buckled. Beyoncé's fate confirmed, but Rihanna's entry read, transferred 2012. Hope flickered she might still be out there. Footsteps echoed, and a man stepped from the shadows, his frame massive, his face scarred. "You're late, Musk," he growled, a stun baton crackling. Elon recognized him, Dwayne. After Dwayne Johnson, a deputy in '95, now Horizon's enforcer. "You helped Carl," Elon spat, his knife ready. Dwayne smirked. The town needed funds. Horizon paid. Those girls, they were collateral. Serena aimed her shotgun, but Dwayne was fast, swinging the baton, knocking it from her hands. Elon lunged, his knife slashing Dwayne's arm, but the man's fist cracked Elon's jaw, sending him sprawling. Serena tackled Dwayne, her fists flying, but he threw her against a cage, her shoulder gushing blood. "The town turned a blind eye," Dwayne roared. "Gates owned us all." Elon crawled, grabbing the pom-pom, Beyoncé's strength in him. He drove his knife into Dwayne's leg, twisting, and the man howled, dropping the baton. Serena recovered, firing, the shotgun's blast grazing Dwayne's side, and he staggered, blood dripping. "Rihanna's gone," Dwayne gasped, laughing. "Siren's in her now." Elon pinned him, the crowbar from his pack raised. "Where is she?" Dwayne spat. "You'll die before you know." Serena kicked his wound, forcing a scream. "Talk," Dwayne choked. "The bunker, north. But she's not the girl you want." The mine shook. Horizon's explosives rigged to erase evidence. Elon tied Dwayne with cable from a crate, dragging him as they ran, the tunnel collapsing. Serena limped, clutching the logbook, her face ashen. "He's telling the truth," she said. The town's complicit sheriff, council, all on Horizon's payroll. They emerged into the desert, the mine caving in flames, drones swarming. Elon threw Dwayne into the truck, the vials and suitcase inside. Serena started the engine, bullets pinging the hood as they sped off, the bunker their last hope. Elon held the pom-pom, Beyoncé's journal a vivid memory. "I hid the case for you." She'd fought to warn him, to save her friends, and her loss was a fire in his chest. "The town let them die," he said, his voice steel. Serena nodded, blood on her brow. "Then we burn their lies down. The desert was their battlefield, and Rihanna was their mission, a survivor carrying Siren's scars." Elon's knife gleamed, ready for the bunker, for truth, for his sister's justice. The Mojave's midday sun was a relentless hammer, scorching the stolen Horizon truck as Elon sped toward the bunker, its coordinates pulled from Dwayne's confession. Serena sat beside him, her shoulder wound, bandaged but seeping, her shotgun braced against the dash, the suitcase, and Siren vials in the back. Dwayne, bound and bloodied in the cargo hold, groaned, his revelation about the town's complicity a fresh wound. The logbook from the mine, detailing Beyoncé's death and Rihanna's survival, was a fragile hope, but the bunker Horizon's nerve center promised answers or death. Elon's ribs throbbed, his leg wound a dull ache, but Beyoncé's journal, hidden in the suitcase, fueled him. "I hid the case for you." Rihanna, Subject R, was out there, and he'd tear Horizon apart to find her. Serena checked Maya's tablet, its cracked screen showing the bunker's Leota fortified complex beneath a solar farm, guarded by drones and mercenaries. "This is their endgame," she said, her voice hoarse. "Siren's final phase control may be worse." A drone's hum broke the silence, and Elon swerved, spotting its glint above. "They're tracking us," he growled, grabbing a flare. Serena leaned out, firing her shotgun, but the drone dodged, its taser crackling. Elon hurled the flare, smashing its rotor, and it crashed, but headlights flared behind them two SUVs, Horizon's killers closing in. "Floor it," Serena shouted, reloading. Bullets pinged the truck, and Elon veered into a canyon, its walls tight, the SUVs struggling to follow. The bunker's entrance loomed, a steel gate disguised as a maintenance shed, guarded by 4 men. Elon rammed it, metal crumpling, and skidded into a tunnel, the SUVs blocked by debris. Serena fired, dropping a guard, but a taser dart grazed Elon's arm, pain jolting through him. He shook it off, knife ready, and tackled another, his blade sinking deep. The tunnel was a labyrinth, its walls lined with cables, the air thick with ozone. Serena dragged Dwayne, his defiance fading. "You're dead," he muttered. Elon kicked him forward. Not yet. They reached a sealed door, its biometric lock glowing. Serena used Dwayne's hand, the scanner beeping, and it hissed open, revealing a control room, monitors displaying neural scans, vials of siren glowing blue, and a chilling sight. A live feed of a woman, gaunt, wired to a machine, her eyes flickering. "Rihanna," Elon whispered, her face older but unmistakable. Serena's jaw tightened. "She's alive, but sirens got her." Alarms blared and guards stormed in, rifles raised. Elon swung his crowbar, cracking a man's helmet, while Serena's shotgun roared, scattering them. Dwayne tried to run, but Elon pinned him, the logbook falling from his pack. A voice boomed over an intercom, smooth and commanding. "Elon Musk, you're persistent." A woman stepped into the light, her presence regal, her suit pristine. Oprah, after Oprah Winfrey, the town's beloved philanthropist, Horizon's true mastermind. "Beyoncé was a fighter," she said, her smile cold. "Pity you'll share her fate." Elon's rage surged, the journal's words echoing. "Don't trust the town." "You took them," he roared, lunging, but guards grabbed him, their grips iron. Serena fired, grazing Oprah's arm, but a taser dart hit her chest, and she collapsed, blood pooling. Oprah gestured to Rihanna's feed. "Siren's perfect now, thanks to her. Neural control absolute." Elon struggled, Dwayne's laugh grating. "The town's hers," he spat. "You're nothing." A monitor flickered, showing the girls' faces, Beyoncé, Ariana, all terminated, but Rihanna's scan pulsed, her mind fighting siren's grip. Elon broke free, his crowbar smashing a guard's knee, and dove for a console, ripping cables. Sparks flew, and Rihanna's feed glitched, her eyes focusing. "Get out!" she rasped, her voice breaking through. Serena stirred, grabbing her shotgun, and fired, dropping another guard. Oprah retreated, her composure cracking. "Burn it all," she ordered, triggering a failsafe. The bunker shook, pipes bursting, flames licking the walls. Elon smashed a glass panel, freeing Rihanna, her body frail, electrodes tearing from her skin. "Elon," she whispered, collapsing into his arms, her eyes haunted but alive. Serena limped, clutching the crate of vials, and they dragged Dwayne, the suitcase secure. Guards pursued, bullets shredding the tunnel, but Elon hurled a siren vial, its explosion dazing them. Rihanna stumbled, her strength fading, but Elon carried her. Beyoncé's pom-pom in his pocket, a silent strength. The bunker's core was collapsing, debris raining, and Oprah's voice echoed, "You'll never stop us." Serena tossed an explosive, sealing a passage, buying time. They reached the entrance, the solar farm burning above, drones swarming. Elon hotwired an SUV, Rihanna curled in the back, Serena beside her, blood on her face. "She needs a doctor," Serena gasped, her wound critical. Elon floored it, the bunker erupting behind them, flames lighting the desert. Rihanna's hand gripped his, her voice faint. "Beyoncé, she saved me." Elon's tears fell, the journal's truth clear. She'd hidden the suitcase, fought for her friends, and now Rihanna was proof of her courage. Serena checked the logbook, her voice grim. "Oprah runs Horizon, but the town's her shield sheriff, businesses, all bought." Elon's resolve hardened, the vials and suitcases weapons. "We expose her," he said, speeding toward a safe house. Horizon's drones fading, but their threat alive. Rihanna's survival was a miracle, but Siren's scars ran deep, and Oprah's empire was wounded, not broken. The desert was their crucible, and Elon would fight for justice, for Beyoncé, for the girls, until Horizon burned to ash. The desert wind howled, a mournful cry as Elon pushed the stolen Horizon SUV through the Mojave's dusk, its engine straining under the weight of their escape. Rihanna lay in the back, her breathing shallow, her body scarred by Siren's neural experiments, her hand clutching Beyoncé's pom-pom like a lifeline. Serena slumped beside Elon, her shoulder wound bleeding through a makeshift bandage, her shotgun empty but gripped tight. The suitcase, with its blood-stained uniforms and Beyoncé's journal, rested at Elon's feet, alongside the crate of Siren vial-sproof of Horizon Ventures atrocities. The bunker's inferno was a fading glow, Oprah's empire wounded but not broken, and Dwayne, bound in the cargo hold, was silent, his defiance crushed. Elon's ribs screamed, his leg wound a dull fire, but Rihanna's words, "Beyoncé saved me," kept him focused. Serena's voice, faint but fierce, broke the silence. "Safe house in Needles," she gasped, clutching Maya's tablet. "We leaked the vials data. End this." Elon nodded, his jaw tight. Oprah's going down. The safe house was a derelict warehouse, its walls rusted, lit by a single bulb. A hacker, Angela, after Angela Merkel, waited with a secure server, her eyes widening at Rihanna's condition. "She's been through hell," Angela said, hooking Rihanna to a medkit. Elon stayed by her side, Beyoncé's journal open in his hands. "I hid the case for you." Rihanna's eyes fluttered, meeting his. "She never stopped," she whispered, tears falling. Elon squeezed her hand, vowing to finish her fight. Serena plugged the vials into Angela's system, their chemical makeup, flashing siren, a neural suppressant designed for mass control. "Governments wanted this," Angela said, uploading the data. Horizon sold it to the highest bidder. They streamed the logbook, journal, and uniform's DNA, the truth going viral. Mojave conspiracy, 6 girls stolen for experiments. Protests erupted, but the town fought back, its loyalty to Oprah and Gates ironclad. Social media branded Elon a liar, a traitor tearing their community apart. The warehouse radio buzzed with local rage. "Musk's destroying us." Elon's heart sank. The town he'd grown up in, where Beyoncé cheered, had sold its soul to Horizon. Serena checked her pistol, her face pale. "They're coming. We can't stay." Angela shook her head. "Rihanna's too weak to move." Elon gripped his crowbar, the suitcase a shield. "Then we hold." Night fell, and headlights pierced the warehouse, SUVs circling, Horizon's mercenaries spilling out. Serena barricaded the door, her last explosive rigged. "They want the vials," she said, blood dripping. Elon stood by Rihanna, her eyes fierce despite her pain. "Don't let them win," she rasped. The attack came fast, a rocket shattering the door, debris flying. Elon swung his crowbar, cracking a man's skull, while Serena fired her pistol, dropping another. Smoke choked the air, bullets shredding the walls. Angela shielded Rihanna, her server sparking. Elon fought, his wounds bleeding, every strike for Beyoncé, for the girls. Serena lobbed the explosive, the blast shaking the warehouse. But more mercenaries came, their rifles relentless. A voice boomed outside. "Surrender, Musk!" Oprah, her composure gone, her rage raw. Serena's eyes met Elon's. "We end this now." Elon grabbed the tablet, streaming live, his voice cutting through the chaos. "This is Elon Musk. Horizon tortured my sister, Rihanna, killed Beyoncé. Oprah Winfrey runs it. The proof's here, Siren, their weapon." The feed exploded online, millions watching as gunfire raged. Oprah screamed, "Kill them!" A second rocket tore through the wall, the warehouse crumbling. Elon shielded Rihanna, shrapnel cutting his arms, while Serena dragged Angela to cover. Mercenaries stormed in, and Elon fought, his crowbar a blur, but a bullet grazed his side, and he staggered. Serena stood over him, her pistol blazing, but a sniper's shot hit her chest, and she fell, blood soaking her jacket. "Serena!" Elon roared, crawling to her. She pressed her pistol into his hand, her voice faint. "Save Rihanna. Expose them." Her eyes closed and Elon's tears fell, rage overtaking grief. He fired, dropping 2 men, and carried Rihanna, her weight crushing but vital. Angela followed, clutching the tablet, the data still streaming. They reached a back exit, the warehouse burning, and Elon hotwired an SUV, speeding into the night. Oprah's men pursued, their headlights blinding, but Elon weaved through Needles streets, losing them in the maze. Rihanna's breathing steadied, Angela's medkit keeping her alive. The tablet's feed showed Oprah's empire cracking arrests in D.C., raids on Horizon's fronts, but the town's anger branded Elon a pariah. He stopped at a gas station, news screens flashing, Horizon exposed. Oprah sought. Rihanna gripped his hand, her voice soft. "Beyoncé'd be proud." Elon held the suitcase, Beyoncé's journal a beacon. Tell Mom I'm sorry. Serena's sacrifice was a fresh scar, but her fight lived in the data, now global. A radio crackled, a federal agent's voice. Musk, we're tracking you. Extraction in 1 hour. Elon drove toward the rendezvous, Rihanna beside him, the vials and suitcase his weapons. The town had turned, but the truth was out, and justice, though bloody, was theirs. Serena's last words echoed, "Expose the man." Elon vowed to heal Rihanna, to honor Beyoncé, to burn Horizon's lies to ash. The desert was behind them, its secrets laid bare, and the fight for truth, though costly, was won. The Mojave's stars burned bright above the federal airstrip, a dusty stretch carved from the desert's heart, where Elon stood, Rihanna's frail form cradled in his arms. The stolen Horizon SUV idled behind them, its cargo hold empty save for the suitcase, Beyoncé's blood-stained uniform, her journal, and the note that had sparked their fight. "We trusted the wrong driver." The crate of siren vials, now in federal hands, was a ticking bomb of truth, its data already dismantling Horizon Ventures' empire. Serena's sacrifice, her last breath urging Elon to expose them, was a wound that would never heal, but her fight lived in the global outrage now toppling Oprah's reign. Angela, the hacker, stood nearby, her tablet streaming updates, Horizon leaders arrested, Mojave town faces probe. Rihanna's breathing steadied, a med kit from the federal chopper keeping her alive, her eyes meeting Elon's with a flicker of hope. "You found me," she whispered, clutching Beyoncé's pom-pom. Elon's tears fell, a smile breaking through. For her. The chopper's rotors roared, and agents ushered them aboard, the desert shrinking below. In a Las Vegas hospital, Rihanna was placed in a neural recovery unit, sirens damage a battle only time could win. Elon stayed by her side, sleeping in a chair, Beyoncé's journal open on his lap. "Tell Mom I'm sorry." Days blurred into weeks, and Rihanna's strength returned, her voice clearer, her nightmares fewer. "Beyoncé kept us going," she said one morning, sketching the Mojave's dunes, a way to reclaim her mind. Elon squeezed her hand, vowing to honor his sister's courage. The world outside churned with justice. The siren vials data led to global raids, Horizon's labs shut down, their backers exposed, from politicians to CEOs. Oprah's trial dominated headlines, her empire of lies crumbling as survivors, like Rihanna, testified in closed hearings. Elon spoke too, his voice steady, recounting Beyoncé's journal, Serena's sacrifice, the town's complicity under Gates and Oprah. The Mojave town faced its reckoning, residents split, some confessing, others fleeing, their silence no longer a shield. Protests demanded accountability, and the sheriff's office, once Horizon's puppet, was gutted. Elon and Rihanna returned to their old Mojave home, its walls still echoing Beyoncé's laughter. Rihanna, now 35, struggled with sirens' scars, memory gaps, tremors, but therapy with a doctor named Maya, after Maya Angelou, helped her rebuild. She painted, her canvases vivid with the girls' faces, Beyoncé, Ariana, Taylor, Adele, Shakira, tribute to their fight. Elon took up photography, using Beyoncé's old camera, capturing Rihanna's tentative smiles, the town's slow healing, moments of light after decades of dark. One afternoon, Rihanna found Elon in the garage, fixing Beyoncé's old bike. "She'd ride this to practice," Rihanna said, her voice soft. Elon nodded, the journal's words alive. "I hid the case for you." "She never gave up," he said, and they hugged, grief and love entwined. They started a foundation in Beyoncé's name, aiding siren survivors and exposing corporate crimes, their work a beacon for justice. The town's diner, once a hub of lies, became a meeting place for survivors, their stories rewriting the Mojave's history. Elon met others like Rihanna, kids taken by Horizon, now reclaiming their lives. A girl named Malala, after Malala Yousafzai, thanked him for the data leak, her freedom a direct result. 2 years later, Elon stood before a crowd in Los Angeles, Rihanna beside him, her paintings displayed behind them. "My sister Beyoncé and my friend Serena gave everything to stop Horizon," he said, his voice carrying. "This is for them, for every child they stole." The crowd roared, and Rihanna squeezed his hand, her eyes bright. Justice wasn't perfect. Some Horizon leaders vanished, Their wealth a shield, but Siren was dead. The survivors free. Back in the Mojave, Elon and Rihanna rebuilt their home, adding a studio for her art, a darkroom for his photos. They planted a garden, Beyoncé's favorite sunflowers blooming under the desert sun. Elon joined a local boxing gym, channeling his anger into strength, his fists a reminder of the fight won. Rihanna enrolled in an art program, her talent shining, her paintings earning acclaim. One evening, they stood on a ridge overlooking the town, the desert stretching beyond, its secrets no longer buried. Rihanna held Beyoncé's pom-pom, her voice steady. "She's with us." Elon smiled, his scars fading. "Always." They walked back, the stars a canvas of hope, the town no longer a cage but a place to heal. The foundation grew, its reach global, and Elon spoke at survivor rallies, his camera capturing their resilience. Rihanna's art hung in galleries, each piece a defiance of Siren's grip. Maya's research into neural recovery offered new treatments, a legacy for Serena's sacrifice. The Mojave, once a tomb, was now a symbol of survival, its sands holding no more lies. Elon looked at Rihanna, her laughter echoing as she painted under the sun, and felt Beyoncé's presence, her love unbroken. They'd lost much Beyoncé, Serena. The girls but gained a family, a purpose, a future where no child would be taken again. Under the desert sky, they stood together, whole at last, their fight a light that would never fade. From 6 cheerleaders vanishing to a brother's relentless quest, Elon exposed a desert conspiracy. Thanks for listening. Like, share, and subscribe, with notifications on to catch our newest videos. Don't miss the next thrilling tale.